Hey guys, it's Miggy here. It's gonna make making one more Desert Thunder guide. This is probably my last video before I leave. Just wanted to share some of the knowledge that I know about this game. Um so I'm pretty much one of the later active players for DT. And yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and go through it. So I'm just gonna speak a little bit about the format of the guide. Pretty much is gonna be I had another guide on my channel, but it's like outdated. It's pretty much based on the old speed gear. And this one's going to be updated for the new speed gear, and it's pretty much going to discuss all the new techniques I know and like just general uh like why I do certain things and why certain things I do are effective, and just like the reasoning behind them and why they work, and just speaking a little about the map, I guess. And yeah, so let's start off with that. So pretty much that's the format. I'm gonna start off from like the start of the game. Well, I'm gonna start from gear, of course, and like some other topics. But then I'll go into the game. I'll go from like the start of the map to town to which is like the first part of the map to temple and the sites, tank, etc., etc. Yeah, it's gonna be decently in depth. The guide, and it's probably gonna be pretty long. I'm not gonna go too crazy into detail, so I'm not gonna explain everything too much. But generally speaking, you have to be a pretty experienced player already to get these topics. So it's pretty advanced. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go ahead and start. And yeah, I'm gonna go between in game and out of game. And this is just a start. All right, so let's just start with the first topic, which is it's gonna be the gear and also the difference between CABR and Classic. Let's talk about CABR or Camarões Brazil and Camarões Classic. So there's like slight difference because both games run on different engines. So the coding is I mean, the coding is not slightly different, but the there's actually a little bit of a difference. It's mostly the same. The only difference is CABR, the NPC's aimbot's a little bit stronger, and what else? There's like a few NPCs that are stronger in general. There's and a very slight variation in like movement of NPCs, but it's mostly the same. But I would say CA Classic is easier than CABR or Conference Brazil. So I'm mostly going to be discussing this techniques in Conference Brazil because mostly where I've been playing. I haven't really touched Conference Classic. So that's more geared towards that, but I'll speak if there's any like major differences, which there really isn't. But you're able to get away with more on CA Classic compared to BR. But that also being said, sometimes there's patches that kind of mess with the map. Not by a lot, but I think the code just breaks because the game is so old. And yeah, I'll discuss some differences there later. And yeah, I'll discuss gear first. So like, yes, since both clients are technically different, the gear is a lot different between the two combat arms. So as far as like I'll load let's see if this works. I'll load the game here. So yeah, I'll discuss BR first. Pretty much, BR is pretty straightforward. Best gear is pretty much, I'll discuss the basic gear. So you get this free gear from Veloth, I guess. This is pretty much the best headgear as far as I know. So you just gotta combine it with speed mods. So if you're like a returning player and you're looking for the best gear, or just like wondering what the best gear is, as far as head, I would say this one's probably the best. They give it to you when you make your account. So if you don't have it, pretty much anything which matches these stats. I think this one's pretty good too, but I think everyone should have that, but I'm not sure. I think there's one that's pretty close. This one's pretty close. And also for BR, there's the speed modifications. Pretty much these you have to buy. You can buy the GP ones, but they're not as good as the GC or the NX ones, whatever. But if you want to be the most competitive and have the best gear, you'd have to buy the NX ones. That's the only thing. But other than that, that's pretty much headgear. Have the best augments, and the best augments or modifications is goes up to 6. And I have some of them, but you pretty much have to buy them if you want it. There's no other choice here unless you run the GP gear. That being said, if you do run let's GP gear, I would suggest you at least buy a face mask permanent. Because you also get this vest, which is this really strong vest as well, for free. If not, get something similar to this. And you could also equip the mods here. And that's pretty much even if you run like GP gear. I'll go one by one actually. So with face gear, you kind of have to buy one unless you want to run the 3% one. But I would suggest if you want to spend the least money possible, I would invest in face gear for sure. Uh, Invest two things, backpack and face gear, and then the rest you can run GP mods. And for a vest, you'd have to wait till there's a strong vest or so. So anyways, yeah, face gear. I'm pretty sure this is the best face gear in the game. 15% speed and a lot of stamina. If you're trying to go for max speed and stamina, right? Um, yeah, so you want to go for this. This is the best one, but depending what's on sale, you want to just go whatever gives you the most speed, whatever the most stamina. As far as vest, so we have this one's pretty strong. We had a recent one. It was the astronaut vest. The only thing with that one is it's not as strong as this one or the glorious vest. So the glorious vest is the best in the game. It's similar to this one, but it gives 30% stamina, 20% speed. Other than that, this is pretty much the best you're gonna do other than the glorious vest. But just say aside from that, I don't think there's any other vests that come close. But I would say either you want this one or the glorious vest if you're spending money. But even just running GP gear without spending money is actually not too bad. Like you can actually run GP gear with just like a few items that you have to buy, and it's actually pretty competitive still. Of course, we won't compare to buying the best speed, but so yeah, you could always use this if you don't want to spend money. If you do, I would suggest either this one or the Glorious Vest plus two vests. And speed mods, you can run GP or the NX ones. Clearly, X ones will give you a lot more speed. Other than that, we have the backpack. So the only thing I'll say the backpack, you do get this 3% slot or three slot vest with 5% stamina or speed, I mean. So it's actually not accurate. You actually don't get any speed from this backpack. So I would say the only thing you want to buy a backpack permanent that gives you speed and slots. So like this one's like pretty much anything gives you four slot. So four slot and 3% is the best you could do. And then you could also do the 3%, three slot and 5% speed. So you pretty much don't want to use this one. It's pretty much the same as having a 0% increase in speed. I mean, if you have no choice, it's not a big deal. But if I were to spend money, I would prioritize speed, face mask and the backpack because you're already going to get two very strong items as far as head and vest. And if you want to go all out, of course, you want to get a better vest, extra more speed. That's pretty much as far as that. The only thing I'd warn is just the backpack, and you have to buy a good face gear. You really want to be competitive. So yeah, if I suggest only buying this, and let's say you run GP gear, let's just turn this off. Not a big deal. You're on GP gear. Apply just to show this. I would say this is very competitive speed. Like you could play in rooms and it's not too much of a difference. Like you would still be very impactful with GP care. So that gives you 50%, which is pretty good still. And you just want to change this out. Let's say I have this or something similar, or like this or something. So this is actual 50%. And yeah, it's still pretty competitive speed. Stamina, you can buy the GP ones too. So yeah, you don't have to spend too much money to actually play. I know Classic's a lot different. And the other thing I say is, as far as characters, I actually do like running Joaquin, which is a bug character. The only difference is you get 18% and you can't run any speed modifications. But I think it's okay just because instead of buying gear, let's say you just have these two, right? You could buy uh head and face NX gear or NX speed mods and then just run Joaquin so you don't have to buy the vest ones. And it's still really strong. Joaquin is a bug character, so he gets more speed than he says. You can't compare it, of course, to like a Glorious Vest or this, but this is pretty like economy based run. That's what I ran for a while. And also, Jarquin is tankier than a Vest, like these recon Anubis Vest and stuff. I'm not sure why. It's like kind of bugged out. Same with Harley Quinn. She's actually no Harley. Yeah, Harlequin I think is better than Joaquin as far as tanking. It's like a strange how that works. The gear it's like all glitched out. But so Joaquin would be you'd be able to tank more, like do more risky stuff compared to like the Anubis vest or Glorious or even the Brazil vest. But this is just give a lot of protection. But yeah, that's one thing with Joaquin. Also, you get a lot of stamina still as well. So you could always run that. I used to run that before I had my Glorious vest. Like I prefer to run Joaquin over the Brazil vest, but it depends how much money you want to spend. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, the best gear, I usually run it. I have it perm. I would like Glorious Vest, but overall, 58 to 60% speed plus speed mods. You could always run GP too. So that's as far as that is gear and yeah, as far as grenades and stuff, you know, as many black nades and like a two slot for the gray nades and RPG, of course. I don't really have to discuss that. Oh, I'll discuss weapons. That's the only thing that I really have to discuss. So I like using the Soccer ARX, and because of the speed is actually, I think it's a little bit different, just because you could run any gun really, like a CQB or um, AK. I would just say because of the speed, there's actually a difference in what you want to run as far as an AR. Like I would say you would never want to run an AK, and the reason for that is because of the much faster the speed is. Things like draw speed and reload speed are actually pretty important. And AK has like really, really slow draw speed. Like if you're running GP gear, like back in the day, I mean, when there was only 25 speed, this AK is like one of the best guns in the game. But I think nowadays it's like one of the weakest. So yeah, my suggestion is you actually want a gun that's has a fast reload and a fast draw speed. And ARX is actually probably one of the fastest as far as both. But yeah, I would just not suggest ever running an AK. Other than that, really strong AR, with a lot of ammo capacity, fast reload, like I said, and fast draw speed. So CQB is still really good. Any CQB variant or the M416. Where's the M416? This actually is one of the guns that has the fastest draw speed. People don't know much about it, but it doesn't do that much damage. But that's one thing. I mean, you can still work the M6A2, but it's kind of slow in the reload. I would just say never touch an AK, never touch a D36. CQB, I should just stick with CQB, stick with Soccer ARX. This would be strong, I guess, too. Yeah, I would say out of the strongest assault rifles, ARX. I would say also stay away from this gun because it says it's a ARX, but it feels like it does less damage than the Soccer or the Neon gun. Yeah, which it does, but if you because usually you can with this gun you can two shot the regular NPCs. But with this one, a good amount of times you're gonna be three shotting them, which is like a big problem. Just feels like a lot weaker for the map, which sucks because it's a nice looking gun. So yeah, as far as ARs, just stick to you want to find something fast reload, fast draw speed, something you can control, of course. I would just say stay away from the AKs. So that's what people are very used to, especially from back in the day. All right, so that's as far as gear. I'm just gonna stop this too. Oh yeah, one more thing. There's also a technique to run duels, which I'll discuss. The only thing I'll say about duels, they can work well. I feel like they're more, I don't want to say noob friendly, but it's easier to do things, so a lot of things. So it is make it is very like useful. I think I would say the only thing I like better about the assault rifles is that you can there's a spot after you blow up tank where you have to shoot the NPCs to spawn kill them, which I'll talk about. And I would say that's you can't really do that with duels. And also killing enemies at range is more difficult. And like let's say you have to do the end part of the map. At the end, we have to throw your grenades. It's a lot harder to shoot your shoot. It's like a mid-range shooting area if you have to shoot. But duels are pretty strong. I would say that. I'm not really used to using them. But yeah, that's something you can run. There's like you can run. I think there's a set. Yeah, like, I guess you can run the regular ones, or these are like a lot better. Has a larger ammo capacity, but you could run either. And I think that's all. Yeah. Oh, I just want to speak about classic. So classic, the gear is way different. You mostly want to have. I think there's a few gears that are really strong right now, but I think the best gear is it's like the purple God gear. But I think it's not possible to get it. And the second best gear is as far as I know, I haven't played in a while. It's a Summer Police Arena, and you could run that with a headgear only. And you run best headgear, you pretty much like fastest character. And speed in Classic is way faster than BR. So that is what it is, right? Can you do? It's more pay to win too to get in those gears. If not, you can run things like Jockwin. It's like even more bugged over there, and you run like headgears that are way stronger than these. Actually, they're pretty close to these, but they're also set items. So you can run Jockwin, or you can run like the strong vest. Like you love love, you can run the Love Thorn, not the Love Thorn, the Valentine's gear. Yeah, love pretty much the most speed you want to get. A lot of the gear is bugged, so I'll just say stick to those. If you have to run Harley Quinn, Harley Quinn's bugged as well. She's pretty quick. What else is good over there? Head and face, whatever gives you the max. Like something like the Love Thorn is really strong. Sometimes I think the St. Patrick stuff isn't too bad. Yeah, but try to get your hands on Jockwin if you can. If not, I think the Turkey Vest, the one that's spelled weird, is really strong. You got to know more about that on your own, just because I don't know any of the modern gear. Irina over there is okay, other than some police Irina. She's the bug character. Yeah, so try to get your hands on Jockwin if you can. If not, the Love Thorn stuff, the Turkey Vest. I think that's as far as I know. And then whatever you can get your hands on that is best for head and face. And if it's on sale, you can do like set items like pastel, RPG, and pistol. I think there's like an Agent 13 pistol and knife. That's on sale. It depends what's on sale too. Um, yeah. If you want to find like sets, pretty much. That's as far as I'll say about that. The gear over there is much stronger. Part of the map, which is, let me sure that's right. All right, so we're gonna talk about road. So first, we'll talk about the general farm areas. And like it's pretty straightforward. I don't have to go too deep into this. Let's see. Okay. Also, I'm going to be running max speed. I'll take everything off. Where the max speed I have 60% speed, but I'll discuss like situations with lower speed. So no one's gonna have the max speed, or no one expects to. Try to clear the map. So pretty much first part it's pretty basic. It's pretty much just two nades. So of course the rules always if you're the first rusher you go first, but of course if you're like significantly faster than the first person, it's probably okay if you pass them. But I'll say that's the only exception to that. So as first person, there's pretty much two nades you want to worry about, which is like when you go direct rush, you can usually nade around here. That'll get you some farm. So it's pretty much just farming as long as while you're rushing. So you to take a nade there and throw a nade in the back, which is usually like the two spots really matter, something like that. And you'll get like all those kills there. It's pretty safe. If you have a team, you don't have to worry about the turn here. I would say if you're like going for more of a full rush, you could always skip the first nade if you want, if because just doing this nade will lose you like a little bit of time, maybe like a second or so. And you can also skip this one if you have a pretty good team, but usually you could either throw one of these or throw both. Depends like what you're okay with losing. Like this will lose you a second, it'll probably lose you another second. If you have a good enough team, you could just not use any of the nades and just go straight for the rush. But other than that, depends if it's worth it. You have a good enough team. And as far as nades here, there's only one nade I do different, which if you're the first person, this is if I remember correctly, as soon as you spawn, you can just go straight for I think it's like this cloud right here, like right under. And you can actually grenade yourself and spawn shield will actually tank it, which I'll show really quick. So it's like this, and you can actually tank it and you won't take damage. So it's like a very special grenade, specific. You can tank it with your respawn timer, but you have to be like uh pretty much have to do it as quick as you can. You can't lose like a second. So there's one more thing I want to show. So say you're the not the first rusher, like the second person or after that. Sorry. One thing you can do. So as far as farming, pretty much see any other tasks you'll have other than helping out the main rusher. You could always the best way is most effective way is always to shoot. So you're the second person, you want to go in. Shooting is always the most effective. compared to anything else. You get the kills faster than other players can. Other than that, there's one spot I want to show. Pretty much as you spawn, you can actually, there's one spot here, similar to the nade I showed you earlier, but you use this to farm. Pretty much the basic theory is that, say the first rusher will try to nade here and nade in the back, perhaps. You'll be able to throw your grenade way before he could, and you'll be able to get the kills way before he can. The only person who can really compete with you with that is the guy shooting, of course. It helps a little bit of farm, and pretty much as soon as you spawn, pretty much as fast as you can, you want to cock your nade and throw it in the spot. A similar concept, like I said. So let's say I spawn here, and you want to take your nade out as you're running. It's pretty much whenever, as soon as you can, fast as possible. And as soon as you run, you want to kind of aim like in that area here in this cloud, like this little pointy area. And as you're running, so say I spawn here, so I spawn, start running, and just throw a grenade there, and then you just farm normally. And this will blow up like around here, and it'll get you a 3 to 4 combo. I don't remember the spot exactly, but let's say spawn, grenade out, throw there. That's good. That's okay. It'll like around here. That was a little bit better. It'll run around here, and it won't damage you either as you farm and rush. So I'll show one quick example, just spawning. And other than that, it's pretty much the basic concepts of the first part of the map. It's pretty straightforward. That's some of the things I've used in the past. I don't really use this grenade as often. We don't have to jump. Yeah, shoot spawn. So that was a little bit bad because I jumped and also I wasn't that well placed. But that's pretty much the concept. I have to farm there. And I'm just gonna pause this. That's it for the road now. There's one more concept as far as like, let's say, I guess you would say world record rushing, which is pretty much just give everything. Just going direct path, of course, is for starters, right? The only thing I would say though is um if you have like few people, which I guess you shouldn't be doing it if you have few people, the only thing I would say is don't jump as much. From what I noticed, around here is not a big deal, but once you get around here, if you jump a lot, it actually makes you a bigger target for the tourney here. But it's not the biggest deal in the world, like I said, if you have a team. But yeah, you would run here and you want to stop jumping. The only one jump you want to do is when you get on this box. And he still could shoot you, but there's a lesser chance. But if he does shoot you, if you start getting low around here or taking damage, and let's say these are closed, for instance. Okay. You could always, instead of, if you want to survive, that's like, if you risk dying, I guess, you could always move around like here. And once you hit this area, instead of being in the middle, he won't be able to shoot you from there. So if you're low on HP, you'll survive compared to if you just run direct and go middle, go through. Of course, you'll lose like a little bit of time there, but if that's one thing I noticed when I was doing solo runs. And that's about everything I know about anything advanced in the road. So that's that. Okay, so let's start off with tempo now. So let's start with basics. So first part's pretty easy. If you're the first rusher, if you have a good team, two NPCs that matter to shoot, you could shoot both of these. You will lose a little bit of time shooting this one. If you have a good team, you could probably skip them and your team will get it. And you could shoot this one, or you could even skip this one if you have a good enough team, where it's not that big of a deal. This one's more important because it's a Terminator, of course. But other than that, basic stuff, you could shoot this NPC, and you just want to RPG here. Oops, I missed that. Yeah, go on this box and you want an RPG like here. So this will these will kill the two NPCs that spawn there, and it'll also blow up the whatever this is called. The thing I'd say if you shoot this NPC and he drops an aid, you could always wait to pass him. But one technique you can do, say you kill him and he drops an aid, you have to run past him, right? You could just still use your RPG here, and you actually want to run here before you jump over here, because then the nade drop will actually you'll actually you'll dodge the nade that drops here or whatever, and you won't take any damage, and then you just go straight to the E. Of course, the general teams always want to do things as fast as possible, but if you have like a average team or your team isn't as on point, you can always shoot this NPC, RPG, and then go straight. It's pretty standard. Shoot this NPCs, it's basic stuff. Discuss this. The only thing I say about this area, if you're alone, I would actually recommend shooting this NPC too. It's actually a bit dangerous. If you have like absolutely no team, of course. And next part I want to discuss is actually a few techniques for this grenade here. I actually have like three different methods here that I use. I'll discuss the first one, which I guess I'll describe as like the safe option. Here, I'm just gonna pause it really quick though. So I'm gonna talk about this part. So I have a few methods. I'm gonna show three methods. These clearly aren't all the methods exist. There's probably still more to be figured out too. Especially if you don't know, kind of I'm interested in. But so this I'm gonna show you the first one, which I'll call like the safe method. And actually, I'll discuss one thing before that. If you're playing like say a public room, a lot of VR players, what I've seen what they do is like let's say it's normal you throw a grenade, and they'll usually stand like around here, and they'll just keep grenading here. You actually don't really want to do that because for some reason if you're like say like there's a line here, sorta. If you're like in this area or even this area, nading here, your NPCs actually come out slower, and that'll mess up your clear time. It's like a little bit strange. It's not really slower. They're just the way they move. Like if you're further away, let's say you're really from here to here or even back here, and there's like no one in this area. They'll come out quicker and they'll pretty much be spawn killed quicker in a way. So I'd say the only tip there, a lot of players that I see, once they start nading, they'll stand in this area, keep nading. You actually want to do is like maybe you'll nade once, but then you want to move away from here and then nade. And I get it if you want to jump here, but you could always move away, grenade here, and then you can move back to jump over on the holy jump. Other than that, it's discussed pretty much there's three methods. Every single of the methods starts the same way. So you always want to do the first nade. First nade's always here, and then you want to do a second nade, and the second grenade it's gonna be like once you go back here, and you want a grenade there. But the two exact spots are the first nade, you actually want to nade like a little bit in front of the door, pretty much right in front of the door. And then the second grenade, once you're over there, you want to nade like here in the middle, generally speaking. That's usually how I do it. If you have a team, you could always just do the first grenade, and then you could just throw the second grenade all the way in the bit, all the way like down there. But if your team isn't that good, the safest option is always first grenade there, and then the second grenade, try to throw it in the middle. It's very location specific. So first technique, like I said, they always start like this. First technique I call the safe technique. Pretty much those two grenades. Put first grenade there, first grenade there. Then once you, let's say you toss the second grenade, right? Then from there you can just you want to go like either back here, pretty much back here. You can crouch here if you want, all the way back here. Just keep grenading, all the way in the back. This is pretty safe. You're pretty decently safe from NPCs there, and yeah, just keep grenading. And you can also RPG after, reload your RPG, but this is pretty safe, pretty basic concept. Stay in here, just keep grenading, and then after that you can move around, or you can just jump through here. There's one more method though that you can stay here and grenade. I'm not sure how people do it, but I'm not gonna discuss that one. That's the first method, and I'm gonna show a video of it right now and discuss it. I'm actually gonna do the rest here. So start off with the first method. So yeah, I explained this part, and then we go for the safe method, which will show you how to do it. And I'm gonna just go through here to do it. And just gonna pull this out for a second. All right, so this is the first method. I'm just gonna be recording. It's actually this last one. All right, we'll start here, and I think I'll play in slow motion first. So yeah, I'll do that. And where's my epic pad? Okay. Okay, so I'll just play in slow motion. So yeah, so same start here. Yeah, so same concept. Throw the first nade. Wait, let me pause. Yeah, so go back a little bit. So yeah, same concept as I was discussing. Oops. First nade here and second nade in the middle. Give or take, right? So yeah, this is the safe method, so I'm gonna go all the way to the back and then I'll just grenade in the same spots. So I can play this a little bit quicker probably. I don't think there's anything to discuss. Yeah, so just keep grenading. I just want to see what anything I want to discuss. And then once you're done with all your grenades, then you can start moving. And you can just RPG here. And usually it's not this clean. You'll have to shoot a little bit more. Usually, but I'll play it one more time in regular speed. That's pretty much the concept. The concept is pretty much so you're back here. You can't really. You're pretty safe from taking damage, except for maybe from this NPC. But realistically speaking, you're pretty safe. You're just in this little covered area, and I would also recommend shooting this NPC when you go upstairs. But other than that, you're pretty safe here, and it's pretty easy to execute as well. What else? Yeah, I think that's it as far as that. It's pretty straightforward. Usually not this clean. Usually, once you get like over here, there might be more spawning that come out, more NPCs that come out. But we got good nade drops. Usually around you should be a good. Uh, I mean, sorry, the clear time. It'll be around like 27 to 29 usually, and getting like I was gonna get 31 here, which is pretty lucky. But most of the time, this is what you're gonna get. But it's very safe. It's very safe, so that's one thing about it. It's very good. Low risk, and I'll just play it on regular speed so you can see it. This is recording, right? Okay. And yeah, yeah, it's a pretty basic concept. Yeah, so you just go in the little back area and just spam your grenades all the way in the back of the room. After these two nades, yeah, you stay here, spam all your grenades, and you can little RPG and just keep going. And yeah, it's just not as clean as this, but that's pretty much a good example of it. Right, let's talk about the second method. So second methods, like I said, they all start the same. Grenade there, grenade in the middle. So second method's what's the second method? The method is like a hybrid of the third method, which is the fastest. But this one's focused on farming like a lot. So you sacrifice some time for farm, but sometimes it's worth it if that's what you're going for. So pretty much it is you nade there, you nade there. So you throw, so yeah, you throw first nade, second nade, then you throw your third grenade. Um, you just want to throw one grenade down the middle, like all the way in the back, similar to the first method. But instead, I think you should have, let's see, either one, two, three. Yeah, so you throw your last black grenade all the way down there, and then you want to just start moving down. Grenade, grenade. And then from here, you don't have to, you can RPG, but you're mostly going to be shooting from here. And usually there'll be one or two NPCs that come out, but not all the time. But that's standard for this method. This is like a farming method. So you'll shoot these, and then you'll continue on to farm. And I'll discuss more about that in a second. And then I'll show the third method. Right now we have the safe method, then we have the farm method. It's very similar to the other one. Perhaps. And let's start it from like here. I don't know why that's so white on the bottom. Why does it look like? Okay, that's somehow fixed. All right, so similar start. Nade the first two. So the only difference really, it's the same thing as here, except you'll throw one grenade here. So the other method, you throw all your grenades here. Here, uh, after you throw your last black grenade here, pretty much, but in the bot, all the way in the back, and then you just you move away to throw the rest of your grenades. And the only difference here is that this is a farming method. So it's like, I guess that's in Portuguese, right? So you get more kills. Usually your average like 45 to 50 kills, right? And but the time will suffer a little bit. So when you do this, expect like your tempo times to be like 20, say 22 to 27, or maybe 20 to 25 clear time. So you do suffer on time, but you will get like 15 more kills or so. Wait, sorry, it's E, right? But yeah, that's the farming method. If you're going for farm, you sacrifice a few seconds for more kills. But yeah, so let that play out. Same concept, except you throw your last black nade. Oh, also when you do this, a lot of times one or two NPCs will come out, go this way, but that's very normal and that's okay. You just have to shoot them there. So this is very expected. Not it won't happen all the time, but this is pretty much part of it. But you just shoot them, it's fine. And then I could have got more farm here, but there was nade drops, and I was a little bit slow in this area. But usually you're able to get a little bit more farm out of this. Like I said, 45 to 50 something kills. And then even this one, gear time 24, 47 kills. It's pretty good. If you don't have a team, usually you want to go with this if you want to farm or not a very good team. Well, that's that. All right, so this is the third method. So same concept. Uh, uh, grenade. And so the emergency is actually the fastest. You'll be able to get the clear time pretty quick. Like you up in the tempo of 14, 28 to 31, like pretty consistently if you do this all correctly. So yeah, first grenade, and then after you throw your second grenade, which is so you throw your second grenade here, your third grenade you want to move, and usually around here as well. I'll throw my third one. It's a good spot. Go here, throw your third grenade, fourth grenade, fifth grenade. You don't have to do it here specifically, but it's pretty safe. Do it here if you want. Then you reload your RPG, and you can shoot RPG from here or from here. Just throw it down there. And if you do that correctly, um, you should be able to get a full clear most of the time. But I'll discuss more in a sec. Right now we have the fast method here. So this is a method I use sometimes. This is the fastest one. Let's see. All right, so start here. So this one is very specific. So first two nades are always the same, and then after here you want to pretty much go here. I explained this already, but I'm just gonna re-explain it. You want to go there and then throw your next grenade. All right. Okay, so you throw your next grenade here. So you throw two regular grenades, and then you go out here, throw your next grenade, and then you can just throw the next grenades either pretty much in this area. You just want to throw the rest of your grenades, and then you RPG. And doing this correctly, most of the time they will be full clear like this. I would say like around 60% of the time, or maybe like 65 to 70% because of nade drops. But if they don't, you'll have to kill plus like four NPCs. It's not much, but it will. So your expected time would be 20 to 31 clear time, which is like I said, it's the fastest, and but you will be sacrificing kills, right? But it's just technically the fastest. I died here, but it wasn't a perfect gameplay, but it pretty much demonstrates what I'm trying to show. And that's pretty much all those methods specifically. Those are the main methods for that. Just fix this thing. Okay, sorry, I was fixing something. All right, so yeah, pretty much you want to do this as fast. Oh yeah, the dodging technique. If you have an AR instead of the duels, so you go through here. You could always like kind of go through here, and there's gonna be let's say like four NPCs here, right? You could actually just skip these two and just shoot these two. This is strictly for time, and you'll be able to get the same time as duels to make this jump quicker. So you'll be able to hit like 40 if you have good spawn time, of course. Then you have max speed. You'll be able to hit this here. So pretty much yeah, you go through here, shoot two NPCs, and then just run past. So you'll leave two NPCs alive. Then you'll be able to make this jump quicker, so your team will be killing these a little bit quicker. And one thing you could do is they'll usually go down here, but if they do follow, you could always just go down the middle and to dodge the NPCs and then keep grenading. Run this way. Like I said, you don't want it really be here, but if you do go here, you could always grenade here, and then you can run back this way to jump or go the other way. But I think that's the basics of in depth as far as this area. And yeah, just go in. And I'll discuss um running in through here later at the end of the video. But that's pretty much that. Okay. I'm gonna discuss Actor Tank. And I'm just gonna discuss some brief things. I have it already in this video. Let me Okay, so pretty much I'm gonna discuss these three things, which is the first two nades. Just like the basic nade I'm not gonna discuss that everyone does, and then there's the ones I like to do, which is I nade the tank and I nade like the roof. I'll show you like how to do that kinda. And then the shooting tank, I'll discuss something about that. And also the nade theory. So I'll start with the first two nades. So I just did a normal, it's not a big deal, it's not gonna change anything. Yeah, so most people nade here, but this is what I like to do. I like to nade up here. To do this, pretty much you want to nade as you go, but the easiest way is just to kind of like angle your nade like this way. So kind of just throw it like here, kind of. Like, this is not bad. Pretty much you want to, if it'll like go into this area down here. Sometimes I ballpark it and like do more of an angle, but for the most part, you just want to throw it inside in the back area. Like it'll go inside and it'll bounce back. It won't go out of the map. So yeah, just towards this building. Like you can even throw it like here-ish, and it'll bounce back from that wall into inside. And that's pretty much that. But I usually just ballpark it, just I don't go too crazy with it. I miss it most of the time, but it's not the big deal. And I also like to grenade the tank. Depending how many grenades I have, I usually only use 2 to 3 black nades at the tank area. So if I have more than that, I just use the rest of the grenades. Let's say I only have like, depends if I have a team, of course, but if I like, instead of this, I have a 2x, frag pack, I guess they call it. I could throw a frag pack here and then black nade, and then frag pack and shoot. So I probably still always nade it. Maybe if I had less nades, but if I have this amount of nades plus another grenade, like a frag pack or a black nade, I'll use at least one because I'm only gonna use 2 to 3 black nades over here. Even and if I have a team, I'll only use two. But yeah, if throwing this grenade here, if you use say, I'm using a black nade, it'll lower the HP of the tank so you could blow up quicker. It's a little bit quicker, but I guess the ones you'll say like a second probably. Um, and yeah, black nade would lower its HP more than a white nade or gray nade, I guess you call it. But I'll usually throw my dynamite here, and then I'll shoot the so that's an example of that. One thing I'll discuss here, get a better angle, like right here. So there's actually a trick here. If you shoot like pretty much in like this area, like most people would shoot like here, and if you shoot here, it'll actually take a little bit longer to blow up the tank. Like more time slash. All right, so it'll take more time if you shoot here. This doesn't matter if it's duels or if it's AR, but it's harder with duels because duels will have more spread, right? But if you have an AR, you want to try shooting here, and it'll like blow the tank also a little bit quicker, which is actually I found out recently. Not too recently though, maybe like a month or two ago. And this will blow up the tank even a little bit quicker. And here, so this is what I like to do with the grenades here. I get a better angle here. So what I like to do is, if I can, I'll rewind it a bit actually. So if I have a team, let's say I'm the second person and some other guy is shooting the tank. When I'm like walking here, let's say I'm the second person, right? If I'm like around here, I'll like move here or even further back or stand here and pre-nade. While this guy is blowing up the tank, I'll pre-nade here. So I'll like I'll pre-nade and I'll pre-nade like here. And this will be so once I get here, as soon as I open this, it'll instantly kill all the NPCs, and I'll just keep driving grenades. If I'm the first person, hopefully a teammate does that for me. If not, I prefer to. If I have a good team, I would grenade and then instantly open this up, and then there's gonna be 4 NPCs or five technically. So one, two, three, like 4 or 5, something like that. And I'm gonna try to let's say like the scenario I was mentioning. Let's say I don't have a team, or let's say I have a team. I would throw my first black nade instantly open, and if they don't pre-nade me, I'll just take out my AR and shoot this NPC here, maybe shoot two of them that spawn here, so that their rotation is kept around. So pretty much the theory is here that let's say there's five NPCs, right? So there's gonna be one here that's gonna walk all the way to the back, and you don't kill him fast enough with like your teammates, he'll actually walk back and then he won't be spawn killed. So that's like one less NPC being killed in every rotation of nade spam. So yeah, so you'll be killing 4 out of 5 NPCs at a time rather than five. So 4 out of 5 is five. So it's like a technically speaking, it's like a what 25% difference if you want to be like mathematic about it. But I always like to keep that NPC from not going back there and keeping him in like the spawn kill. Easiest way if you have a team is just to shoot him. If your team is like too far back, I'll do one thing where I'll throw one black nade and I'll wait till the black nade's about to land, and then I'll throw the second one like right before it lands, like maybe like a split second before. And they'll keep like a 5 combo into a 10 combo, and then I'll throw the third grenade as well. Just spam it, and that should give me a 15 combo, not including my team, of course, they might kill steal. But these will pretty much keep the NPCs killed as fast as possible. And then usually there's a spot here we'll just discuss in a minute to shoot. But one thing you could also do is I'll just make sure this is recording. Okay. So one thing you could also do is let's say you have to reload your gun. You can nade here, and let's say you don't have a team as well. So this is kind of specific. So you nade here, wait till the other nade is about to fall, and then you do your second grenade, and then you reload your gun. Actually, is it like that? Let me think. First grenade. No, so you do this, and then you throw your third grenade, your third black nade, and then you reload your gun. And then by the time your gun is done reloading, there'll actually be five NPCs ready to be killed if your team isn't killing them already. So you'll have a full magazine to start shooting here, or just shoot in general. If you need to reload, it's better if you already have your gun reloaded. Like here, I have my gun ready to shoot. That's as far as that I'll have to speak. And then I'll show the spot here. The thing about this is you won't be able to use duels here. So duels is like kind of a deficit here, but it's not the biggest deal in the world. I would just suggest to save more nades instead of nading the tank or nading to farm and use your nades here, like all your nades here. But just keep the concept of trying to keep these five NPCs always here, being spawn killed, and not letting this one go all the way to the back. And I'm gonna spawn a game and show that spot as well. I mean, I'll describe it first, and then I'll show an example. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna show the gameplay first of the what I was replaying. I think it was actually this might be something else, but this is just like the general example. I was like riding on the other one, going around, but this is just like an example of like a clear. It's a little bit sloppy, but it pretty much shows the concept that I'm trying to show. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'll just try this spot really quick. So it's pretty much the basic concept is once you like spawn kill them, I think so. The best part is like I don't really measure too much. I kind of just ballpark it, but the theory is like you see how there's like a pole here and this here. You want to be like in between the gap. It's like kind of weird. It makes them stay there a little bit longer. So right here is like the best spot. You just shoot here, but a little bit close. Like here's probably the best spot. You want to be like a good angle, but you could also be like here, and this is also a good angle just because of this peak here. I don't know why that works like that, but yeah, if you're like this, it won't work because you need to have like this pole. It's not really like this, like that's like the cause of it. It's more like it's like a what do you call it? It's like a marker to help you position yourself, I guess. But that's pretty much it. So once you spawn kill them, you just shoot here. You spawn kill them. So like right here is like a good would be the spot you want to go. I kind of ballpark it for the most part, but you be able to kill them. Sometimes like I said, I'll throw one grenade and then just go here, shoot, spawn kill. Actually, I'll show that really quick. But that's basically the concept. You'll kill the NPCs like that, spawn killing them. Hold up. Okay, so this is like the example here. Say, do this. Oops. So yeah, let's say this is like the fast run. So I do this. Kind of missed that, but yeah, just spawn here, then like this. And that's like, if your team is a little behind, they'll get there. Guys, was I recording it? Okay, good. Yeah, so if your team is behind, they'll you'll have like pretty much the theory is like you're not waiting for the second grenade to blow up, right? So you say you throw two grenades, you have to wait for it to blow up. Let's say you just throw it, instant open it, spawn kill them, and your team will have a little time for them to start throwing their grenades and helping you spawn kill them. So you're pretty much spawning them earlier so they can be spawn killed earlier and clear faster. But yeah, that's pretty much that.